President Obama is giving NASA a new game plan for space exploration and includes both government and private industry. The president will replace the Space Shuttle program with a system he hopes that will use private companies to fly astronauts to the International Space Station, perhaps eventually to the moon. President Obama will also end the mission to return at least the government part of it to the moon for now. In return, he's going to bring billions of dollars into research for a new rocket that can fly further into space, and the ultimate goal is to put a man on Mars.
By the mid-2030s, I believe we can send humans to orbit Mars and return them safely to Earth. And a landing on Mars will follow, and I expect to be around to see it.
Now, we're joining with the executive director of the Tulsa Air and Space Museum, Jim Bridenstine, who's going to talk more about the president's plan. And what I'm really intrigued about is this emphasis on the private sector kind of stepping forward now for space exploration. Your reaction to that?
Oh, I really believe it's tremendous. When you think about what NASA is doing now, they just plussed up the budget $6 billion. A lot of it is going to be used for continuing the International Space Station, which is important, since we have so much invested in that already. But further, it's going to enable, part of that $6 billion, they're going to increase the budget for private space flight. Certainly NASA has an interest in seeing the private space flight industry succeed, and they're going to turn to private companies to continue routine space missions.
I heard a lot about tourism, space tourism.
Sure.
What are some other areas where folks can make a profit? Because if it's going to happen for the private sector, they got to make money.
Right, absolutely. So when you think about space, you think about communications, satellite communications. Also, there's remote sensing, military needs. Then you've got navigation, GPS, then you've got weather satellites. So there's a lot of areas where there's a commercially viable opportunity in space. What we're doing now with the private spaceflight industry, I think is really tremendous. And interestingly, here in the city of Tulsa, we're participating in that in just a couple of weeks.
You've got the rocket races, I guess, coming in. Is that
yes, absolutely. Part of the private spaceflight industry, what spawned the whole thing was a gentleman named Dr. Peter Diamandis. He created a $10 million prize called the X Prize. A lot of companies from across the world were competing to win the $10 million prize, which was, $10 million. It was specifically for the first guy who could get into space without any government assistance. And Dr. Peter Diamandis said, how do we continue to advance rocket science and space technology in the private sector apart from the whimsical budgets of politicians? And he said, we'll race manned rocket-powered airplanes in a three-dimensional track in the sky using the same business model as NASCAR, revenue streams from ticket sales, merchandising, television rights, corporate sponsors.
It's a show.
It is.
You're saying, now you're actually involved in this, you're actually investing in this, but you're saying so the rocket racers in their visors are going to be able to see the track and they have to fly through certain things, and then you're going to take that same view and put it on the jumbotrons, and the fans down on the ground are going to watch the race. Is that right?
Yes, Rich.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, I'm an F-18 pilot by trade. Projected in the helmet visor of the pilots is flight information and targeting information. We're using that technology, and instead of targeting information, we're going to project a series of rings that the pilots fly through.
Right.
Now, this is now you can imagine using the technology. Pro football's first down line. You've seen that before.
Right. Sure.
On the yellow line.
It'd be something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're going to do this on the 24th. Is that right?
Absolutely. At the Tulsa Air and Space Museum on the 24th, we're having the Quick Trip Air and Rocket Racing Show. And part of that will be the rocket racers, and we're also going to demonstrate this racetrack in the sky with a Cessna 402B, which will be really exciting.
Fantastic. We've had 15 seconds left. Obviously, the shuttle program's going away. 10 seconds. Where are you at on trying to get a shuttle here into Tulsa?
We're making great progress. April 24th is a big event for us. NASA will be looking at the city of Tulsa as we participate in this, creating the foundation so that the private spaceflight industry can succeed.
Well, exciting times for the space program and for Tulsa, we hope as well. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.